Hello guys, welcome to the first round of Mindbug Online World Championship 2024 Swiss round stage. This championship is played with a modified Beyond Eternity set with just one copy of Coibra and Squirtle in the deck. There are 7 rounds in the Swiss stage and 51 qualified players are battling for top 16, which earns you the spot in the final stage of the World Championship played on the 22nd of February 2025. Until then, I'll be posting one video a day from the first till the last round I played. All matches are best of 2. In the first round, we are playing against Ocellus from Germany. So in this first match, we get to be on the play. Our hand consists of Cave Lizard, Cursed Gorilla, Pegasus, Porcupine Teacher, and Blessed Shieldbugs. Our opponent hand consists of Tiger Wasp, Madame Mystique, a Squirtle, a Dugdra, and a Water Antler. So both mine and my opponent's hands are interesting. We're thinking about what to play first. You always want to think a little bit more on the first turn of the game. Just what creature do you play first, what creature do you play second if your first creature gets Mindbug, etc. So we decide to play Cursed Gorilla first, followed by Cave Lizard if the Gorilla gets Mindbugged. But we drew a rabbit, and it's actually a good answer to the Cursed Gorilla right now because our discard pile is empty and it would have 10 power. And if it trades with the Gorilla, their Gorilla would end up in their discard pile, giving all of their creatures -2 power. So this kind of works out for us. So we follow it up with a rabbit. If they decide to Mindbug the rabbit also, they could be in a rough spot, like if we had a mouse which blocks creatures of the same power attacking. So they decide to let this rabbit resolve, play a Dugdra of their own. Playing hunters early in the game is very beneficial. If you have a hunter resolved on your side of the board, you can start playing small sneaky creatures without fear of your opponent Mindbugging them and killing you with them, because you have a hunter which can always kill them. So here I think for a bit. I have a Porcupine Teacher in my hand, and it gives all my creatures poisonous, and Dugdra really handles poisonous creatures well, because when it attacks it kills one poisonous creature. So here I decide I will have none of it. I play a Tornado Dragon with the intention of killing this Dugdra. So we have 2 good discard outlets in our hand, a Blessed Shieldbug and a Pegasus. So we decide to discard the Blessed Shieldbug and kill this Dugdra. So this is a first game. My concentration is still not on the highest level. I forgot my rabbit would become just a 6 power creature when I discard my cards, so right now it's 7 power because the Shieldbugs is in the discard pile. So our opponent correctly attacks here. We do not have a strong enough blocker for it. You also do not want your life total to go too low because of the card we just drew, and that's the Fire Antler, which deals 1 damage to your opponent when it gets defeated. So we chomp one attack from the Gorilla Lion with the rabbit and let the other attack go through. So now with the Dagdra dead, I decide to play my teacher. It gives all of my creatures poisonous, and so now they can deal with this Gorilla Lion. Our opponent plays a C-Rex. C-Rex is a very potent creature. If I let this C-Rex resolve, I'm afraid that all my sneaky creatures would be unplayable, because they would just get hunted down by this C-Rex. So I decide I will have none of it and decide to Mindbug this C-Rex. Our opponent now plays Madame Mystique, which is a perfect counter for the Porcupine Teacher in this set. Madame Mystique, when it gets defeated, it defeats all of the opponent's creatures with the same keyword, and you can choose that keyword, so all our creatures except the teacher are poisonous, and they would all get defeated. So we decide to use our second Mindbug and on this Mystique. Our opponent plays a mouse. Mouse is a good card here. We do not have a sneaky creature in play yet, so this mouse gets us down to 1 life. I even attacked with my Mystique, hoping that my opponent would block and I would kill his sneaky creature, but they correctly did not block. So I was lucky here. I had some sneaky creatures in my hand, so I was able to play them and without fear of getting killed by this mouse. So they Mindbug our first sneaky, which is 3 power Pegasus. But now our options are open. We could play our Spirit Maki here, we could play our Cave Lizard, just to have some blocker for their sneaky creatures. I mean creature, because Pegasus cannot attack because it's the same power as Madame Mystique right now. So they still have 5 cards in hand, 1 card in the deck, versus our 3 cards in hand. We have a better board state than them, but that could easily change, and mouse games seem to favor the player which has more cards in hand, because you can do shenanigans like playing creatures that boost and boosting your opponent creatures to same power so that they cannot do anything. So our opponent plays a Water Antler here, which is just the stuff I talked about. So they decide to boost their mouse with our Blessed Shield Bug. Now and now none of our creatures can attack because of the mouse ability. Only thing we can do here is play the cards from our hand, which is unfortunate because we have a 10 power Cave Lizard, which is the same, but there are already 2 10 power creatures in play. We have an 8 power Fire Antler, which is also not doing anything. So our only live card is this End Zombie Horde, which is 7 power. So we just start playing cards from our hand, but this does not bode well for us. Our opponent has the same plan and they just have more cards in hand than we do. So we play our last card and Zombie Horde, and they do the right thing. They boost 1 card to the Zombie Horde, so it becomes 8 power, and as we are unable to attack and unable to play a card from our hand, we lose the game on the spot. So this was a typical mouse game. Our opponent played really well. We made a few mistakes. This was our first game in the first round. So let's see how the second game went. So in the second game, we get to be on the play. Our hand consists of Cobra and Zombie Horde, Go Dragon, Madame Mystique and Tiger Wasp. Our opponent's hand consists of Agile Rooster, Cave Lizard, a Go Dragon, a Cursed Gory Lion and a His Holiness. So here I decide to open up the game with Madame Mystique. Our other cards were not that good, and if we opened up with a Cobra, I expected our opponent to Mindbug it, because Cobra is one of the best cards in the set, and it was correctly restricted to just 1 copy in the deck. So our opponent plays an Agile Rooster here, presenting a threat. Agile Rooster must be blocked with 5, 6 or 7 power creature, otherwise it's unblockable. So we have 2 7 power creatures in our hand, so I'm not really interested in mind-bugging an Agile Rooster. Here I think we just play an End Zombie Horde as a response. If it gets mind-bugged, we have some other options, like playing a Go Dragon or a Soul Manipulator, which we just drew. Our opponent plays a Cave Lizard. Cave Lizard I currently do not have a means to deal with, and we have 2 sneaky creatures in our hand, and we would like to get them on the board and get them to start working on our opponent's life total. I also think the Cave Lizard is one of the most powerful cards in this set, so I gladly Mindbug it here. It also serves as a blocker if we play our sneaky creatures and our opponent decides to Mindbug them. So this game is a little bit slower compared to the last one, a little bit more strategic. There is a deep level of strategy in this set. Our opponent plays His Holiness on an empty board, I mean empty discard piles, so they do not get to use their boost action. I really did not understand this play from our opponent, as I can easily attack here with Mystique and get rid of 2 of their frenzy creatures. So I could not tell you what our opponent's plan was here. But we just do that and get rid of their creatures, so we even have a fodder for our end zombie horde in the discard piles now. Our opponent plays a Cursed Gore Lion, which is fine for us. We have a Cave Lizard to block. We have two boosters in our hand, a Go Dragon and a Soul Manipulator. We can easily boost the card to our Cave Lizard, making it 11 power and making it be able to block Cursed Gore Lion without fear. But also you need to have in mind that your opponent can do the same if they Mindbug your creature that boosts. So, as you can see, our opponent once again drew a Hypnotic Mouse, which can be the card that decides the game in this set. We think here for a bit, play a Pegasus. Pegasus is not a threat to us because we have a Cave Lizard and it can be a threat to our opponent if they don't have a sneaky creature to block with. And as we see from their hand, they have a few answers to this Pegasus in form of Ghostly Underdog, which they just played, or in form of C-Rex, which is a hunter. So they decide to play a Ghostly Underdog, which we are fine with. We do not want to use our Mindbug. So here I decide to just attack our opponent down to 2 life and just accept the fact that our Pegasus would die to this Ghostly Underdog attack. So we go up to 4 life from the Pegasus ability. So here we have plenty of options. I decided to play a Tiger Wasp here. Our opponent is at 2 life right now, and if this Wasp resolves, it presents a lethal threat to our opponent. And once again, on their side of the board, it's doing nothing because we have a 10 power Cave Lizard in play. So, seeing our opponent's hand, I think that maybe they could have not Mindbugged this Tiger Wasp. But okay, they did, so now we play a Soul Manipulator. If our opponent... we play this as a semi-bait, because if our opponent decides to take this and boost one of their creatures, we can play our Go Dragon and destroy the boosted creature, which is one of the abilities from the Go Dragon. So they boost their Gorilla up to 11 power, so now it's able to attack through our cave lizard. Also keep in mind that we have a fire antler in our hand, which can resolve and potentially deal one point of damage to our opponent. So we just need to get that 1 point of damage through somehow. So now we are free to play whatever we want from our hand. Our opponent is out of Mindbugs. We could play a Go Dragon here, defeat a cursed Gory Lion. We could play a Koibra and start working on our opponent's hand, like discarding cards from their hand. I decided playing a Go Dragon here. If this cursed Gory Lion attacks... Oh, they just decide to attack with the Manipulator, which is... and return the Go Dragon to their hands. Okay, sure. So we are in a pretty good spot. We are up 2 life on our opponent, up 1 Mindbug, and down 1 card in hand. Also, we've got a better board state currently. So I decided to play Koibra here and start working on our opponent's hand. You can win some games in this set by just being up on cards compared to your opponent, and Koibra is really good at doing that. So our opponent is thinking here. They play a Trash Flyer, hoping we will Mindbug it, so they can follow it up with a mouse, so that all our creatures get locked. Trash Flyer is really a powerhouse in the late game, because it can play creatures from your opponent's graveyard, discard pile, when it gets defeated. Here I decide against Mindbugging it. We have 2 creatures in our discard pile, and we have a Pyrosalamander in hand, which can boost one of them. So we can limit our opponent's options. So I decide just to play a Salamander here, boost the Mystique to their Trash Flyer, so it just leaves a Pegasus in our discard pile for them. Like, a Mystique could have been a more problematic card for us, because we have 2 tough creatures on the battlefield and 1 tough creature in our hand, so I did not want to deal with that. So I chose to limit their options. So they have 3 cards in hand. We know one of them is Go Dragon, which they returned with the Soul Manipulator. Here they play a Water Antler. I'm thinking of lines in which they boost their Cursed Gory Lion up to 11 power. So we do not have a good blocker for it. But still we have a Koibra as a poisonous creature, we have a Go Dragon that can kill boosted creatures. So here they decide to boost our Pyrosalamence, and here's the point in the game when I realized our opponent had a mouse, because they want to disable all our creatures if the mouse enters the game. Here we decide to attack with a Koibra, discard Go Dragon from their hand, so we semi-know that the mouse is the last card in their hand. Here they decided to trade. With our Koibra, they attack with the Soul Manipulator, returning Trash Flyer to their hand. So that's what I was talking about when I said that the Trash Flyer is a really powerful card in the late stages of the game. Here I decide to just attack with a zombie horde. The first attack will be blocked by Gorilla, but in the second attack the zombie horde will go up to 11 power, and it will become too much for the Gorilla to block. Our opponent is thinking about how could they play this mouse and how could it win them the game. I decide against mind-bugging a Trash Flyer here because our discard pile is empty and we are not afraid of Trash Flyer dying. So the plan here is simple, just keep attacking with the zombie horde. The last card in our opponent's hand was the mouse, and it would do nothing on this board, so they decide they had enough and they concede the game. So the first match ended in a draw, which is not a great result, but this player is very strong and generally I'm happy with this result in round 1. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow for the round 2. Take care. Goodbye.